You're watching SportsBeat.
Thanks for watching the show tonight. Another draft workout for the Utah Jazz, a nod to the 40th anniversary of the Jazz moving to Utah and the 35th anniversary of their first division title and playoff win. But we start with a blockbuster trade in the NBA. It's happened. The Lakers have been pursuing a trade with the Pelicans for Anthony Davis since the trade deadline. AD made it clear he wanted to be a Laker. It caused all kinds of drama when a deal didn't get done. Well, with the draft just 5 days away, the deal finally happened. Anthony Davis is a Laker. This is what the Lakers had to give up to get him. The Pelicans get Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks. That includes the number 4 overall pick in this Thursday's draft. The Pelicans get a haul for a superstar, while Anthony Davis gets what he wants. Former Ute Kyle Kuzma not in the trade. He remains a Laker, where he will be a key piece alongside AD and LeBron James in LA.
Expect the unexpected when previewing NBA drafts with the Utah Jazz.
And in the 13th pick,
the Utah Jazz is very proud to select.
We're still arguing. Who do you want us to take?
2013, 2014, the Utah Jazz select.
We're going to bring a mailman.
John Stockton of Gonzaga University.
Gordon Hayward, Butler University.
Rudy Gobert. The Utah Jazz will select Dante Exum, number 5 overall.
Donovan Mitchell. Grayson Allen from Duke University.
It's almost here. The NBA draft just 5 days away. The Utah Jazz held one last draft workout today before they make their selection on Thursday. That is, if they keep the pick. We'll have to wait and see on that. The Jazz hosted 12 players in 2 different sessions today. Among those working out are former Roy High star and Weber State Wildcat Brakat Chapman. The Jazz also got a look at Terry Harris out of North Carolina A&T. Terry is the brother of NBA free agent Tobias Harris, who the Jazz are reported to have a lot of interest in. The highest-rated prospects in the workout were Luguentz Dort out of Arizona State, 7-foot 2-inch center Moses Brown of UCLA, and San Diego State freshman Jalen McDaniels.
It's been an incredible journey. It's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and it just shows me the support that I have. Really, I can get through anything. This is about to play a game for a living.
Guys brought a lot of energy, effort, a lot of communication out there on the court. It was loud at the gym today, so I think it was really good.
Showed the things that I could have got better at and the things that I got better at. So just coming out here and competing hard, playing together and being a great team, probably.
Jazz really like those Iowa State players. All right, after working out more than 80 players and countless hours evaluating prospects, no one knows the draft better than Jazz Vice President of Player Personnel, Walt Perrin. Walt will join us live on SportsBeat Sunday to break down the prospects that will be in the Jazz draft range at number 23.
And here again, Looney switches. He won a game tonight and won a final.
And Kawhi can't take all the shots, so kind of slowed down a little bit. They were doubling.
The ability to eliminate.
Pretty cool witnessing a first for both the St. Louis Blues and the Toronto Raptors this week. Let's be honest. Many of us crowned the Golden State Warriors with a three-peat before the season even started, right? How could that team not win another title? Well, what played out was improbable. The Warriors broke down with injuries, while Kawhi Leonard had one of the best individual performances in the NBA playoffs we've ever seen. And he led the Toronto Raptors to their first NBA title. In honor of the Raptors' historic run, we thought it would be fun for this week's list to count down 5 other improbable NBA champions. And we start with this one, the 1995 Houston Rockets, and this is painful to watch. They were the defending champs, but they went 47-35 in the regular season. They were the 6th seed in the West, but upset the 3 seed Jazz in the first round, winning a decisive Game 5 in Salt Lake City. They beat the Suns in 7 games, beat the Spurs in 6, and then swept Shaq and the Magic in the finals to repeat as champs. Going back to 1978 for this one, Dick Motta's Washington Bullets went 44-38 in the regular season, but got hot in the playoffs, beating the Hawks, George Gervin and the Spurs, and Dr. J and the Philadelphia 76ers. They met another surprise team, the Seattle Supersonics, in the finals, and led by Elvin Hayes, Bob Dandridge, and Wes Unseld, the Bullets beat the Sonics on the road in Game 7 to win their only NBA title. How about some baseball? Angels and Rays start us off. Justin Bour. He was just a B a couple weeks ago. He's got a solo shot. His second game in a row with a homer. Makes it a 4-0 game. Yandy Diaz gets Tampa Bay within one with a 3-run shot, but that's as close as they would get. And the Angels get a win 5-3. Diamondbacks visiting the Nationals. Rough outing for Steven Strasburg. Gives up a homer to Ketel Marte on the first pitch of the game. Later in the inning, Adam Jones, he takes him deep. Then in the fourth, Marte wasn't done. How about a curtain call? Arizona's offense explodes in a 10-3 win. The Nationals are not good. Brewers and Giants tied in the seventh. Brandon Crawford grounds it out to right. He's going for a triple. A 7-6 lead. 2 out in the ninth. Christian Yelich makes it a 1-run game. What a year Christian Yelich is having again. But then the defense comes to play. Mike Yastrzemski, the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski, with a web gem. And the Giants get the 1-run win. AL East matchup between the Orioles and Red Sox. No score in the sixth until Xander Bogaerts breaks it open. This is a triple. It's going to score Rafael Devers from first. It was 3-2 in the seventh. And J.D. Martinez steps up to the plate and gives the Red Sox some insurance. His third home run in 2 games. And the Red Sox get a much-needed win. Blue Jays, Astros. Jack Mayfield gets Houston started in the second with a double. Then in the third, Jordan Alvarez crushes this one. What a start he's had since being called up. That's his 4th home run in his first 5 MLB games. Astros win it 7-2. All right, a familiar face was back in Utah this week. RSL legendary player and coach Jason Kreis is now the head coach of the U.S. U23 soccer team. They were in Harriman this week training. The team includes 4 RSL players: Justin Glad, Aaron Herrera, Brooks Lennon, and Sebastian Salcedo.
A lot of special memories. A lot of really, really special memories. I have to feel like I was a big part of the beginning of this club, being the first player that was signed here and then coaching the team for a few years. So yeah, a little bit. Certainly we were at the stadium last night, and that was also kind of brought about a lot of feelings, and different to be watching a game from the stands. That's rare occurrence for me as well, but I enjoyed it. Of course, the wins were fantastic. Of course, the run leading up to the playoffs, the run of form that we were in to make the playoffs, and then our run through the playoffs. As a coach, there's not much else that's better than looking out there at your team and saying to yourself, that's the exact picture I've had in my mind for a long time. It's just an incredible investment that the boys made for the club and for the community. I think that there's just so much to be proud of here. And so it's nice that they've welcomed us in, and we're enjoying it. More so than any of the results or the holding up the trophy, it was just all of those times with those players and with the people that were involved. The culture in that team was second to none.
It's great to see Jason back in town. So many great moments and memories during his time here with Real Salt Lake. All right, coming up next, a move 40 years ago this month that changed the state of Utah forever.
Worst years in sports for me was my first 2 years here in Utah.
Since 1979, June of 1979, the Jazz moved from New Orleans to Utah. A look back from the dark days of the beginning to an improbable playoff run 5 years after arriving in Salt Lake City.
Stockton casts off at the buzzer. It's short, and the defending champions survive Game 5.
Bobby Dandridge, he will be our most valuable player. They file into their locker room. The commissioner of the NBA, Lawrence O'Brien, is here with some special guests. And Commissioner, why don't you present this trophy?
We count down the 5 most improbable NBA champions. It's time now for number 3 and number 2. Number 3, the 2004 Los Angeles Lakers assembled a super team that featured Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton, although we pretend Karl never played at the Lakers, right? But the Detroit Pistons turned out to be the better team. Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, and company crushed the Lakers winning the title 4-1. The 2011 NBA Finals were supposed to be LeBron's long-awaited crowning. His first NBA title after joining up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in South Beach. Remember them counting the titles? Not one, not two, but the best player in the 2011 NBA playoffs was Dirk Nowitzki. A 3-seed in the West, he led the Mavs on a tear through Kobe's Lakers and KD's Thunder to reach the finals. The Mavericks stunned the Heat 4-2 to win their first NBA title. This month marks the 40th anniversary of the Jazz relocation from New Orleans to Utah. The franchise we know now is one of the winningest and most well-run in the NBA. But getting to this point wasn't easy. Here's a look back at those early days for the Jazz in Utah and how they became a winner.
Now, we've played very good. Very good. We're going to play better.
Before the 1983-84 season, times were tough for the Utah Jazz. The team averaged just 27 wins during their first 4 seasons in Utah. They were the laughingstock of the NBA.
It was ugly. I mean, it was the 2 worst years in sports for me. Was my first 2 years here in Utah.
You got 1 foul. Go use it up. Come on. We'll get you back in there. Come on.
Your heart was always in your mouth. All right. We had times when, you know, we had the first round pick and we took Dominic Wilkins, you know, and he didn't want to come here, so we had to sell his rights to get cash. We needed cash and to pay our bills, to pay our players, to pay our help. And so it was hand to mouth for a long time.
But you just got to deal with the situation mentally and just go out and give 100% and try to improve yourself and the team, and hopefully you get the breaks and someday, you know, try to make the Jazz out of winning.
I've seen the struggle. I've been through the struggle. I've been through the times where we had fans at the game with sacks on their heads and their eyes cut out and the threatening of moving the franchise.
I wake up at night screaming, figuring that I'm going to be 0-82.
The Jazz were also among the bottom in the NBA in attendance. Revenue was scarce, and relocation was quickly becoming a possibility.
I think it would be hard for people now to believe that we were that fragile. We were at a crossroads. Were the Jazz going to stay here, or were they going to go? If we had had another poor season, 25, 30 wins or something, I think the Jazz could have very well been history.
Las Vegas is a gambler's paradise, but when the Jazz opted to move 11 home games to this city, they did not consider it a gamble.
We tried to play some regular season games in Vegas. Not sure how well that worked out, not too well.
We need a revenue base because we do not have cable television within the Salt Lake market. We feel by playing games down here will add additional revenue to the franchise.
What was it like playing in Vegas?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome, man. I thought, this is great, you know. Now, Vegas was fun.
Make the drive. Now drive. Hoop it up. Yeah!
You know, we almost moved there. That was the purpose of going down there, really. You know, just test the market.
It was like playing 11 more road games, and yet I think we managed to win 5 or 6 of those games.
Desperation would soon be replaced with excitement. The roster Frank Layden assembled quickly developed chemistry. The team picked again to finish last became the biggest surprise in the NBA.
Ricky Green, behind the back dribble. He's in. He scores. Incredible play. Throw Bailey, bounce low to Danley. He's got it. Lean in. Score it. Griffith drive the paint. Slam dunk. The Golden Grip. 3-pointer for the parking lot. Yes.
Winning creates a buzz, and we were creating the buzz. And we was going from 3,000 people in the stands to 6,000, to 6,000, to 8,000, to selling out. You know, it was just a gradual thing over the season, and everybody's like, let me get a part of this buzz. What's going on with the Utah Jazz? And the simple thing, we were winning.
Man, I remember those Salt Palace days, man, when the fans started coming. You know, they started coming and they started cheering, and these fans expect a good show tonight.
What we had to do was win. There's no bad cities, there's only bad teams. And now we were proving that not only were we a good team, but we had promise for the future. I think the best way it could be put was the Jazz became family with the city, with this state.
Ladies and gentlemen, with tonight's victory, the Jazz have clinched the team's first ever playoff berth.
They didn't stop there. On April 12, 1984, the Jazz defeated the Clippers 113-94, clinching the Midwest Division title.
You know, when we clinched it, it was just unbelievable because we were picked last.
When we won the Midwest Division Championship, I think the way they celebrated, let the fans know, let the players know, this is a taste of winning. This is what it's like.
To come in first, to beat all the teams that we had to beat to come in first was just an accomplishment for the Utah Jazz.
When they brought the banner down, you know, to look up and say, you know, now we're relevant. You know, now we're going to be taken serious. Now we can compete and we can go out and get draft picks and make people want to play for the Jazz so we can win championships. The 83-84 team was the foundation to future success of the Utah Jazz.
Great memories. All right, next we head to the links. Tom Hackett plays a round of golf with the man who recruited him to Utah. Weber State head coach Jay Hill. The Hallowed Grounds is next.
Up in the hands of Prince, he'll drive all the way, brings the house down.
Chandler brings it back out. Nowitzki on the pull-up, puts it in. First title in franchise history.
Our countdown of the most improbable champions in NBA history continues with number 1. It's hard to think a team with LeBron James on it would be an improbable champion, but that was the case in 2016. The Golden State Warriors were the overwhelming favorites to repeat as champions. They beat the Cavs the year before in the finals 4-2, and this time they won an NBA record 73 games that season. They lost just 9 games. The Cavaliers were down 3-1 in the series. To that point, no team in NBA history had come back from 3-1 in the finals to win the title. But Draymond Green would get suspended for Game 5. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving each scored 41. The Cavs won Game 6 at home behind 41 from LeBron. It all set up a winner-take-all Game 7 in Oakland. There was LeBron's iconic chase-down block of Andre Iguodala and a clutch shot by Kyrie Irving, and the Cavs did the impossible, coming back from 3-1 down to complete a historic upset and win their first NBA title. When Weber State coach Jay Hill was the special teams coordinator at Utah, he discovered a punter from the land down under named Tom Hackett. 8 years later, we get to see the two play a round of golf on the latest edition of Hallowed Grounds.
The Hallowed Grounds, brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen.
As always, arrived in my Nate Wade Subaru. We're here on the par 4 4th here at Willow Creek Country Club. It's a 2-hole challenge. Coach, this is how this thing works, all right? Okay. So on the first hole, we're playing for a $100 gift card to Uinta Worldwide Golf Shops. If you win the first hole, then you can go double or nothing on the par 3 5th for the Bushnell rangefinder valued at $500.
Okay.
But there's a lot of winning that goes into winning one of these, so I don't think you're quite up for it, but time will tell. Let's play some golf. And that's for Weber, obviously, the purple shaft.
Absolutely, that's a good shaft. No bond shaft.
Look, I don't want to be rude, but purple's not a very, it's not a very good color aesthetically.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's the color of royalty.
We do allow breakfast balls. So if I beat you, do you think you'll ever hear the end of it?
No, if you beat me for 2 holes, we're playing the rest of the 16 today.
Have you ever told anybody the story as to your first trip to Australia? You were there.
Not the whole story.
Well, what's wrong with the whole story? How did you convince Coach to come to Australia? Or was that because you'd been at Utah long enough, he trusted you?
Both. I mean, I had to talk him into it. I said, this is just one you got to trust me on, but I believe we can go to Australia and we can start rugby kicking and being way more productive than anybody else in the country doing this.
I'll play caddy for you. I'll play caddy. Who was a better kicker, Louis Sakota or Andy Phillip?
That's loaded. That's really loaded. They were both All-Americans.
I just want you to say Louis so I can rub it in Andy's face.
I loved them both. There's no one like King Louis. Matt Gay was coming to Weber State. Did you know that?
No, what are you talking about?
He was coming to Weber State till about 2 days before camp. Then Utah
pinched him.
Decided they were going to take him.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That was no bueno. Did you do that on purpose? Looks like I just won a $100 gift card.
You want a $100 gift card? I suck. How good are Weber State going to be this year?
Good.
So who's the Division I team you play?
We play both Nevada and San Diego State this
So let me guess, you'll beat both of them this year.
I hope so.
Every year I've spoken to you, you've told me you're going to beat the Division I team you play.
I told you we got a shot, but we got to play great. I know that.
You should have beaten Cal.
Could have beaten Cal.
Should have beaten Cal.
Yeah, we screwed that one up.
Knew I was going to be in some strife. No. So congratulations. Your wife will be happy.
That's all I had to do is hit closer to the pin. That's
Yes.
sweet challenge. I like this. We should do these challenges more often. Oh, I'll take it. Sweet, look at this. That is awesome. Thank you.
No worries. I'm embarrassed, humiliated.
As your manager, you're fired.
Yeah, I feel like I should be.
Okay.
I'm deserving of not having a job after that performance.
Now to golf, round 3 of the U.S. Open currently in progress. A lot of eyes on Tiger Woods at Pebble Beach. Can he make a run and get into contention? On the 5th hole for birdie, he moved to even, lost a couple shots by the time he got to 16, but he gets this birdie putt from the parking lot. Tiger's tied for 27th. He shot a 71, now even par. This was the craziest sequence of the day. Cabrera Bello on the par 4 8th chips in for birdie. Impressive shot, but then his playing partner, Brandt Snedeker, does it one better from the bunker. Pretty sweet. The leader is Gary Woodland, 10 under. 3rd round still in progress. We'll have more highlights at 10. Thanks for watching.